Hello again, fellow BeachBum traders. Thank you for joining us for part 2 of our weekly trading game plan for the trading week of February 5th through February 9th. Where in part 2 of our weekly trading game plan, we'll be selecting our top swing trading stocks to watch, stocks in our bullpen, stocks in our shopping list. We'll also talk about several option strategies and strategies using dividend payers to generate additional income while we wait for our top swing trading stocks to set up. So let's get started. Thank you for joining us in the live chat today, Brian Moritz. Hope you're doing well. So here's our Google document with part 2 of our weekly trading game plan for the trading week of February 5th through February 9th. We keep our notes in publicly accessible Google documents. Our notes documents contain links to bonus video, the tools and resources we use to select and trade our top swing trading stocks to watch. If you have not already seen part 1 of our weekly trading game plan for the trading week of February 5th through February 9th, titled How to Make Money Trading in February, we would highly recommend you also view part 1, as that contains our market analysis, our trading strategies, trading ideas for the trading week of February 5th through February 9th. We keep all of our weekly trading game plan Google documents in a publicly accessible Google Drive folder, so you can refer back to the notes for part 1 as well as our notes from previous weekly trading game plans, and you can find a direct link to that Google Drive folder also in the description box below. Welcome, Walter Lyons. Thank you for joining us. Hope you're doing well. Just a quick note today is we've had several power outages earlier, and I had to reboot our entire network. So if I do happen to drop off, if we have another power outage and I have to drop off, you can again get all of our top swing trading stocks to watch, etc., bullpen, all of my notes for this this week in our Google document. You just won't be able to hear me babble about them. So again, our notes documents contain everything pretty much I'm going to cover, and then I'll just add my commentary. So firstly, we'll go over a couple trade updates for this week. The first one is that we got stopped out of our latest long position in land. The land is a REIT on farmland. We had entered on land on the 19th at 1341. We got stopped out on the 30th at 1405 for a nice profit, about 4.8%, which equates to a monthly ROI of about 13% on price appreciation. And we also collected their small, it's about 5-cent per share dividend for January. And as you'll see, we'll be looking for opportunities to go long on land again. And congratulations to all of our fellow BeachBum traders who also profited from this swing or scalp trade on land. Welcome, Easy Mike. Nope, as you can see, Easy Mike, we got stopped out of land on the 30th, and we'll be looking to re-enter. Our second trade for this week is SIJ. SIJ is a leveraged short on the industrial sector, so we've been watching SIJ for some period of time. I put an order in, and that got hit on the 2nd. I got a price of 11.14. As you'll see, it dipped down below that. You'll also see that SIJ is a pretty illiquid, doesn't trade a whole lot, and pretty choppy. I was a little bit concerned about the liquidity in that stock, and I would forewarn you, if you're going to trade this, just be aware that it is very lightly traded, choppy, and again, I think the average shares was like 6,000 or something that I saw on Friday. So just be aware. I did have to cut my size down because, again, I was concerned about the illiquid nature of that stock. But if you're not already short the industrials using SIJ, as far as I know, that's the only ETF you can use to short the industrial sectors, XLI. You could get a potentially better price than we got. So you can hear more about our strategy, etc., of why we're using SIJ to short the industrials and how we're watching the XLI to determine our entry point in last week's weekly trading game plan video. So just a quick reminder, although again, I don't ever recommend that anyone blindly follow us into or out of trades. If it would help you make money trading, help you succeed in your trading career, you can get real-time notification via email of whenever we enter or exit a trade by joining any level of our Patreon. We also have several channels in our Discord available to our Patreon members. So I'll show you those very quickly. We have a category of alerts available to our Patreon members, the first of which is a Thinkorswim alerts channel. I also have price alerts set up in Thinkorswim that get automatically triggered and then posted in this Thinkorswim channel in our Discord. So you can see when SIJ hit its 52-week low, hit my order, hit posted in that Thinkorswim channel, and then if we follow up those Thinkorswim alerts with an actual trade, then I would reply to that in the Thinkorswim channel. If I'm making a trade not directly related to a Thinkorswim price alert, we also have a trade alerts channel, so you can see when we went long on TSLY on January 25th. I posted that in the Think Alerts or Trade Alerts channel in our Discord. And again, any level of our Patreon will give you access to those alerts channels in our Discord. We also have a channel with real-time alerts, and you can hear more about how you can use that alerts channel to see sector rotations, see stocks that are moving up, moving down, breaking out near our buy price. It also has our price targets, etc. In this additional alerts channel. So if you would like real-time alerts during the trading day of when stocks are moving up, breaking out, etc., you can get access to this additional alerts channel in our Discord by joining our Patreon at the all access or VIP level. So again, you can hear more about the alerts in this alerts channel via the previous video we released on Get Alerted when stocks are moving, breaking out, etc. And hopefully in the future we'll be able to spend more time talking about how you can use those alerts to make money trading. And we'd love your feedback on what else you would like to see in terms of real-time alerts in that alerts channel. So now we'll jump over to Webull and we'll look at the charts for those trades. So here's my two trades for this week. First, we'll look at land. Jump back to a month. So you can see on the 19th or so, we got in a little bit higher than the bottom, 1341 or so. We rode that up, got stopped out on the 30th when it's kind of spiked down. And then you could see I didn't get necessarily the top price, but you can see it's hitting that resistance, and then it's since then has declined. As you'll see, we're going to add land back to our watch list looking for another dip. It looks like it was dipping. Let's see what it was on the 5-day. So it looks like it broke down below that 1371 briefly. That tends to be a support level. 1351 tends to be a support level. So I'll be watching the level 2s to see where we can find an entry point to re-enter land. SIJ, again, you can see how choppy this is. It only trades, if we look at the trade times for 5 days, you can see on Friday it traded at 9:55, 11:45, and then at 2:05, and that was it for the day. So again, very low volume, very choppy, pretty broad bid-ask spreads. So again, I put my order in at 11:14, seemed to be a previous, I think that was the previous 52-week low is 11:13. So I put it a penny above that and just see if that would hit. I had to kind of lead that. You can see it went as low as 11:07. So again, opportunities to get a cheaper price. The XLI did make a new at least 52-week high, if not all-time high, on Friday afternoon. Okay, now we'll look at our top swing trading stocks to watch for this week. Let me grab a quick drink and then we'll go over our top swing trading stocks to watch for this week. Thank you, Walter Lyons, for responding to Brian Moritz about the imposters on Discord. Yes, if you get an invitation or friend request or something from someone that's not us, we're BeachBum Trading, all one word, all lowercase, no pounds, no numbers, no other characters. Anyone else is an imposter. And again, we would never ask you directly for money or have us send us crypto or anything odd like that. So anyone else is an imposter in the Discord. So here's our top swing trading stocks to watch list for this week. I'll go over the updates, then we'll look at our watch list Google sheet, and we'll look at the charts in Webull. So firstly, we've been watching APLY. APLY is the yield max dividend payer on Apple. We kind of thought maybe after the earnings, they're slowing sales in China, we might be able to get into APLY. Haven't quite caught yet. I have an order out there. I think it's at 1382 or so. We'll look at that in our Google sheet in a second. You can see the ex-dividend dates, February 7th. You'll see all the distribution schedules. You'll see I've added a link, a reference sheet in our dividend payers with the reference to the 2024 distribution schedule for all the yield maxes. So their next dividend date is all February 7th. So we'll see if we get an opportunity to get into ALPY for this month. You can hear more about our previous analysis on APLY via the bonus link to this video in our notes. I added FAZ earlier this week, so on the 30th, we added FAZ to our watch list. FAZ is the short on the financial sector. FAS is the long, leveraged long in the financial sector, and it hit, I believe it was a 52-week high at about 94, triggered a price alert in our alerts channels in Discord. Checked on it, thought, okay, maybe we'll get an opportunity to short financials using FAZ. Since then, financials decline. We had that failure of that New York Community Bank, but we'll see if they do try to rally financials, bounce financials back up. We would look for an opportunity to short that using FAZ. Again, potential additional issues with other regional banks, etc. So you can hear more of our discussions on using FAS and FAZ to long and short the financial sector via the link to our previously released video in the notes and also on our BeachBum Trading YouTube channel. Welcome, Alan Krantz. Hope you're doing well. Another one we've been watching for a while, and we looked at the technology components yesterday. We saw the huge run in the Mag 7 and the FANG stocks with Meta, etc., Amazon, etc. So we saw they broke out. So potential opportunities to short them with FANG-D. So FANG-D is the inverse of FANG-U. So when FANG-U peaks out, and rolls over, you can short with FANG-D. If you want to long, you can long with FANG-U. I'm not overly eager. There's a lot of momentum in the FANG stocks, Meta, etc. right now. But again, if you're nimble and can catch that downturn with FANGD, we'll be keeping an eye out for opportunities with that. As we noted, just be aware that it includes other stocks like China tech stocks like Bob and Baidu, etc. Also been watching LABD. If they happen to have an exuberant run in biotechs, we'd look to short that with LABD, although yesterday, again, we saw biotechs really haven't participated, just been chopping up and down. So if you're a short-term day trader, scalper, etc., LabU and LABD on that chop. But in terms of swings right now, not great opportunities. Talked about watching land again for a new entry point. We're going to take SIJ. Again, we're already in SIJ, the short on industrials. If you want to get in, again, there you can have an opportunity to get in cheaper right now. We've been watching for shorts on semiconductors. Again, semiconductors long with SOXL, short with SOXS. You can hear how we trade semiconductors via the link to this video in the notes. Again, if we see a pop back up in semiconductors, we'll be looking for an opportunity to short that. Just be aware, NVIDIA, I believe, reports on February 21st. I expect them to report well, probably get a pop in SOXL based on that. So again, not too eager to short it for a long-term swing, but maybe a short-term trade in advance of the NVIDIA earnings might be warranted. Also, please be aware that SOXS and DRIP, both are leveraged ETFs, are going to reverse split 1 for 10 on March 25th. So if you're looking to sell covered calls against your position in SOXS or DRIP, that will affect your number of 100 share lots in terms of selling covered calls. So just be aware that reverse split is coming. TECS, we're currently long TECS as of January 18th. We're still long TECS. We'll see if we get that decline. We saw TECL, which is the long, had popped up even further given that exuberance from the Mag 7, from Meta, etc. But we'll see if we get a correction, profit taking, etc. That will give us an opportunity to take some profits in TECS. Again, you can hear how we use TECL and TECS to trade the broader technology sector via the bonus link to that video in our notes. Also, now we have a Google Sheet that contains our watch list, our bullpen, our shopping list stocks, includes price targets, ex-dividend dates, earnings reports dates, etc. And you can get 24/7 access to that our watch list Google Sheet by joining any level of our Patreon. So we'll take a quick look at that. Also, you can hear more about how we've developed and how you can use our Google Sheet to watch our top swing trading stocks to watch via the series of videos, via the bonus links in our notes. Again, a recent addition is I added a link to the Sector Spiders sector tracker in the screener sheet of both our watch list Google Sheet and our ETF Google Sheet. So now again, you can find that in the screeners tab. So we've got the link to the major indices, the technology components, and now you can also see all the sector spiders in that link, via that link in the screeners tab. So again, I use this Google Sheet as kind of a one-stop shop to review all of the stocks in our watch list, as well as what's going on in the market as a broader market. And again, you can get access to this Google Sheet as well by joining any low level of our Patreon. This gets updated at the end of each day automatically. So you can see the columns in gray come from our automated systems, our database. So you've got dividend information, optionality information, earnings data, as well as our price targets, buy and sell. So as you can see, my I've got a buy-in, I think, at 1781 or 1782 on APLY right now. So again, you could see our buy and sell price targets for all of our top swing trading stocks to watch, also highlighting which ones are close to those buy targets right now. So you can see lands looking pretty good. If I make any updates after that Google Sheet gets updated, then I post those to a stocks watch list channel in our Discord, which you also get access to with any level of our Patreon. So if I do add anything after that gets generated, I would post that to the stocks watch list channel in our Patreon, so you'll be alerted if we add anything intraday, etc. So if that would help you make money trading, help you succeed, again, you can get access to our watch list Google Sheet via any level of our Patreon. So now let me grab a drink and we'll go look at the charts for each of those stocks on our top swing trading stocks to watch. Just a quick reminder, if you're not already using Webull, you can still get up to 75 free fractional shares of stock by opening an account with Webull and depositing 25K or more. If you deposit less than 25K, you get 20 fractional shares of stock. Each of these fractional shares is worth $3,000 to $3,000. We use Webull for our market analysis, our due diligence, the majority of our trading. So we highly recommend Webull, and if you'd use the affiliate link to Webull in the description box below, we can all both get our fractional shares of stock, and you can help support our BeachBum trading community, which we greatly appreciate. Again, I'm using the online browser version of Webull. As you can see, you can have multiple watch lists. It's easy to flip between the various watch lists. We talked about APLY, so I'm looking for a dip in Apple to determine my entry point into APLY, but again, I've got an order sitting there probably 1782 or so. I may have to raise that a little bit to get back in, as we saw Apple did bounce back from that slightly disappointing earnings, and APLY didn't quite get down to my order. Again, we use FAS as our entry point into FAZ. FAS is the long on financials. You can see where it made that high of almost 94. That triggered my alert. It didn't quite make it back up there, but when FAS hits at or above that 94, we'd be looking to short financials using FAZ. FANG again broke out, just got exuberant run. Not really sure where that's going to top out right now. Pretty sure that's a new 52-week high. So again, we'll have to see where that peaks out, if there's warrants an entry to short the FANGs with FANGD. LABD is the long in biotech. Again, you can see it's just kind of bouncing along its pivot point right now. I'd want to see it test the recent high near that resistance level in terms of choosing to short it with LABD. We looked at land. As we can see, it's kind of coming back down. We'll see if we can get back into land. And the last ex-dividend was 122, so the next one's probably somewhere around 222, and you can find the ex-dividend dates in our dividend payers Google Sheet as well. SOXL, again, it's kind of in the middle of its range. Looks like it got support from that previous high. The previous high was, looks 39.53 or so. I believe I have a Thinkorswim price alerts set at their 52-week highs. So when those get triggered, it'll show up in the Thinkorswim alerts channel in our Discord, and that would then be the indication to look at a potential short using SOXS. Again, we're already long TECS. I think I'm long 955 or so it's declined. See that, technology's made that strong run. Looks like it's got some TECLs, kind of hovering along that support line now. So we'll see if we get a breakdown in TECL, which would then allow us to take profit in TECS. Again, I will trail that with a stop manually once it gets profitable, and probably, take our profit pretty quickly, as again, I think NVIDIA and maybe some of the other tech stocks might report good earnings. And again, we might get another pop in TECL after that. So I hope that all helps. Okay, next we'll talk about our bullpen stocks. Again, the bullpen stocks are not ones that have the setup that we would like right now, but they look like in the near future they might have an attractive swing trading setup. So we put them in the bullpen, and then we keep an eye on them. Now we can keep an eye on them in the bullpens tab in our Google Sheet. And if their setup improves, then we can put them in the game, move them up to our top swing trading stocks to watch list. Let me grab a quick drink and we'll go over our bullpen stocks. Okay, the first one that we're adding to our bullpen for this week is LTC. LTC is a REIT on healthcare facilities, one that we've traded numerous times in the past. Again, the REITs, the real estate, got a little bit beat up late in the week as bond yields perked back up over 4%. So this REIT, as we'll see, I've got a number of REITs in our shopping list, and this one showed up as being close to its price target. So we're going to add LTC to our bullpen, see if it comes back down to a support level that we'd like to enter LTC. And again, it's a dividend payer. A REIT pays on healthcare, senior living type facilities. We'll look at the dividend payment information for LTC when we get to our dividend payers Google Sheet. We've been watching LXU. Again, it's a chemical company. You can hear more of our analysis on LXU, LSB Industries via the bonus link to that video in the notes. So it's still declining. So similarly, Mosaic, another agricultural company's been declining. So we've been keeping an eye on that, kind of waiting for a turn, waiting for a swing back up in agricultural inputs. They did get a little bit of a pop on Friday, so maybe we'll slowly see a sector rotation back into that as we get closer to spring. We've also been watching REMX. REMX is a ETF on rare earths and strategic metals. One of its constituents is MP Materials. These have all also been in decline for some time, so we're just waiting for those to find a bottom and swing back up. And you can hear more of our analysis on REMX via the link to our previously released video in the notes. So again, now you can watch our bullpen stocks in the bullpen tab of our Google Sheet. So we see price targets, etc., risk reward profiles, again, earnings information, dividend information. So again, we can see LTC pays a 19-cent dividend. Their last ex-dividend was or their next SECS dividend is March 20th, so it must be a quarterly dividend. You can see the yield, optionality, etc. If we look at the charts in Webull, so again, here's LTC. You can see it kind of, rolled over, headed now, back down to potential support area. Doesn't look like it's, quite established a bottom yet. We'll see our previous price targets in the low 30s. It's, again, we've traded LTC numerous times in the past. We see the last dividend was paid on 122. So the next one's probably 222. The last dividend was 19 cents, pretty consistent 19 cents. LXU, again, chemical company, has been, steadily declining. Looks like it might be establishing a support level at this 730. Now, another thing I've been doing with particularly the Bullpen stocks is looking at their profiles in ChartMill, see what ChartMill has to say about their technical setup. So you can find ChartMill under Trading Tools in the links section on our homepage. So if we, for example, I've been, bringing up the technical analysis section for some of these Bullpen stocks to see if it's time to put them in the game, move them up to our top swing trading stocks to watch. We can see right now LXU is still scoring a 0, so that's why I've left, or one of the reasons I've left it the Bullpen, although it looks like it's establishing support. I'd like to see, ChartMill agree that the technical setup has improved. Same thing with these others, Mosaic. So again, kind of steady decline, waiting for it to establish some support. REMX, kind of the same way. Again, you can see all these are kind of just trailing off. So we're waiting for them to establish support, swing back up. And again, we can check their technical setup using ChartMill as well. So again, another way to check or validate your analysis of their technical setup for a swing trade is using ChartMill as well. So we hope that all helps. Welcome to Ricky Kahn. Thank you for joining us. Hope you're doing well. I don't have any honorable mention stocks for this week. Shopping list, we'll quickly just spin through what I have in the shopping list sheet on our Google sheet. Just a reminder of the concept of the shopping list, particularly since we're in earnings season. Also, we talked about, potential buying opportunity in February yesterday. So, February may present some buying opportunities in terms of its historical seasonality. So have your shopping list ready of stocks you want to buy, given an irrational reaction to earnings, irrational decline in the markets. We just recommend, beware of zombie stocks, zombie companies, zombie ETFs. And if you're not familiar with those concepts, you can hear what those concepts mean and why we say to beware of them via the links to those videos in our notes. Again, none of our content should be considered financial advice. We're not financial advisors. All of our content is for education and entertainment purposes only. And we hope that helps. So let me grab a drink and we'll look at our shopping list stocks in our Google sheet real quick. Welcome, Sydney Osborne. Hope you're doing well. Thank you for joining us. So again, now you can also see the stocks I have in our shopping list in the shop list tab in our Google sheet. You see land, turned green in our shopping list. That's one of the one of the REITs that I have. on our shopping list. Also LTC, Stag, Realty Income, ones I typically watch. We've traded profitably, numerous times. See MP Materials, Microsoft, Netflix, etc. We talked about USOI, looking for oil to break down below 70. If so, we would long oil with USOI. Uranium, one of them, URNM. I think it was Alan Krantz or someone was saying they prefer the Sprott ETF, and that's URNM. See, we watch JPI, JPQ, Amazon, a couple that have had irrational reactions to earnings like Bud and Cody. We've got Disney earnings coming up, so if we get an irrational reaction to their earnings, might get an opportunity with Disney, another DNN, another uranium miner we like, etc. So again, you can see what we've got on our shopping list. For right now, we can keep an eye on them. If anybody pops up as getting attractive, then we can add them to our watch list or our bullpen. So yes, Alan mentioned he likes the Sprott uranium URNM, I believe, because of their management, trust in their management. And thank you for that response, Alan. So now we'll look at dividend payers, our dividend payers Google Sheet. So again, we use dividend payers if we're got cash that we want to deploy and we don't have a swing trading stock that we want to deploy that cash, and we want to generate income using dividend payers while we wait for our other swing trading stocks to set up properly. We use our dividend payers Google Sheet. And again, you can get 24/7 access to this dividend payers Google Sheet by joining our Patreon at the all access or VIP level, and use that to build a schedule of your own income generating dividend payers with whatever risk reward and dividend payment yield that you would like. So again, just a note, an addition, an enhancement to our dividend payers is I added a new sheet to our dividend payers titled References, and I put the direct link to the 2024 distribution schedule for all the Yield Max ETFs. Yesterday, we talked about some of the Yield Max ETFs, APLY, TSLY. Again, we're long TSLY. We're watching APLY, and we've talked about several of the other dividend the yield maxes, and we have several videos on the yield maxes. So if you want to see when their ex-dividend dates, etc., are, you can access that now via the link in the references section, and I'll add additional references related to dividend payers on that references sheet in our dividend payers Google Sheet. Another addition that we talked about somewhat, and we did some analysis on yesterday, is the Crow pointed out a couple Japan-related ETFs yesterday, and we looked at those two Japan-related ETFs yesterday, FLJH and FLJP. So we did a risk-reward profile on each of those as ETFs for trading Japan yesterday. So you can find those in the ETFs research sheet of our ETFs Google Sheet. But I also identified that FLJH appears to be attractive from a dividend payer standpoint. So I wanted to quickly look at FLJH in our dividend payers Google Sheet. And again, thank you to the Crow for pointing these out. Again, this FLJH looks like a potentially attractive dividend payer. So we go there, we can do a find. Here's FLJH. I'll zoom this out a little bit. So we can see FLJH pays a $2 dividend twice a year, semi-annually, biannually. You can see its performance for the year. I guess I'll zoom. I can just scroll to their performance, so you can see it's had positive, almost 9% positive performance. So that gives it a net yield of almost 17%. So its nominal yield is 8%. So again, pretty attractive. Right now, the risk reward's pretty balanced. So again, I might wait for that to come down a little bit. It did drop recently on its ex-dividend date. You see the last ex-dividend was 12/15. So now again, we can track FLJH as a potential attractive dividend payer. Again, it's only semi-annually, twice a year. So again, we've got plenty of time to wait for a dip in FLJH to take advantage of that in terms of a dividend payer. So again, thank you, Crow, for pointing that out. Now we can track that as an ETF to swing trade Japan and also as a potential dividend payer. We have a whole series of videos on how you can use our dividend payers Google Sheet to construct your own schedule, your own income schedule using dividend payers, etc. And you can access that series of videos via the link in our notes. And also you can, again, find them on our BeachBum Trading YouTube channel. If anyone in the chat has a dividend payer you would like to look at, you can please throw those up in the chat. Otherwise, I'll spin through just a few and then we'll continue. Okay, we talked about LTC and land. So here's land. Again, it only pays a small dividend, 5 cents a month, but it has an adjusted yield. Again, we trade land for price appreciation, so you can see the risk reward profile is pretty attractive. See, it hasn't really performed very well this year, so it's declined generally this year. But when we take into account price appreciation, it's 6% given price appreciation. We talked about LTC. So again, LTC pays 19-cent month, or this says quarterly. I believe it's monthly. I'll have to update that, and we can see the risk reward profile on LTC. Again, I would probably actually look at it around 30. So if we adjust that, we can see that the risk reward profile is significantly better around 30. We could see, it hasn't performed well this year, but again, with price appreciation, we get about a 9% yield. You can see some of the yield maxes. So I updated their ex-dividend date based on that reference link. So there's an NVDY, OARC. We talked about APLY. We're trying to get into APLY, so you can see the risk reward profile and the dividend payment information, 56 cents on the 7th, again monthly. You see it's got a very nice nominal yield and net yield, even though Apple had that little bit of a dip. Talked about we're in TSLY on that dip after earnings and other issues with Tesla. So here's TSLY. They're all very similar. So again, if anyone, if you have any questions about particular dividend payers, you can always put that in the comments, put it in the chat, in our Discord. If you'd like us to do research on a particular dividend payer, have a suggestion for an addition, like the Crow mentioning these Japan-related ETFs. Again, you can put it in the comments to our videos, contact us in the Discord. Also got links to all our social media profiles on our homepage. Homepage is beachbumtrading.com, bum without the U. So again, if you'd like us to do due diligence on a particular stock, or you'd like us to do research on a dividend payer or an ETF, there's plenty of ways you can get in touch with us. Okay, another one of our strategies for generating additional income is several option strategies. We sell covered calls on our positions when they're going up, buy them back when they're coming down. We sell puts on certain stocks when they're going down, buy them back when they're going up. And we use our puts ROIC Google Sheet to help us identify opportunities to sell and buy back puts. So we'll take a look at opportunities there. And again, you can also get access to our puts ROIC Google Sheet by joining our Patreon at the All Access or VIP level. Just one addition this week to our puts ROIC is I identified as Norwegian Cruise Lines at 12.50 strike. Right now I've got it at the January 17th, 2025 expiration. Wanted to see that, so I added that to the research tab. We'll take a look at that, see if that would offer some decent premium. As we'll see with the VIX down below 14, again, premiums aren't terribly attractive. We've got a whole series of videos on how you can use this puts ROIC Google Sheet to develop your own option strategies for making money. Titled Option Strategies for Beginners with Examples. We also have a whole playlist on options of how you can use covered calls, cash secured puts, etc. And you can access all of those on our BeachBum Trading YouTube channel. So if I go to the research tab of our puts ROIC, you can see what we've got. We've got our automated system collects this data on these various puts for potential opportunities, and then we see anybody that pops up, we're looking for an ROIC of 5 or better. So again, there isn't a whole lot given the low volatility. So if we look at, here's Norwegian Cruise Line, again, premium right now is not that great, ROIC not that great. But if it does increase to its, near its 52-week actual, I identified a peak at about 234, and at that price, it would give me a, 8.7% ROIC. So we'll see if Norwegian Cruise Line declines, if that premium improves. So on our main watch list, again, not a whole lot. With a 5% or better ROIC right now, and they'd have to increase quite a bit to get an attractive ROIC. You can see previous prices I've identified, and there's ROICs in our Google Sheet. Again, we've been watching things like Albemarle, etc. And again, you can see some prices I've identified, ones that might be attractive. So Match, again, Match is probably going to go up for Valentine's Day, Payc, Palantir, etc. I do have still a sell out on UAL, which is United Airlines at 490. That hasn't hit yet. That would give me about a 7% ROIC. So again, you can monitor when stocks are going up. Then it's not a good time to sell puts. When they're going down, they're green. So good time to sell puts. And then if you're buying them back, then, inverse of that. You can track the premium prices that our automated systems update in our puts ROIC Google Sheet. So we hope that all helps. Okay, so got a couple topics to discuss. Again, if anybody else has any questions, any particular stocks you want to look at real quickly, we can try to do that. I do want to at least talk about our biotechs, but MD asked last week about selling puts on HP. I don't know if I can answer that right now. Let's see if we can. I'm going to try to use the options trader on Webull, on the online browser version of Webull. This is relatively new. So we'll enter HP. I know that's not really, it's not Hewlett Packard, it's Helmech. So here's their Helmech and Payne, their energy, fossil fuel, equipment and services company. So if we look at them in the options, we can look at their options, look at a put at 32. So right now it looks like you have to go to 32.50 or down to 30. Looks like the premium's pretty low. It did pop up a little bit. If I look at them also in Finviz, see what's kind of going on with HP. So yeah, 32 looks like, is below the previous dip. So that looks like a good spot to potentially sell a put. It did gap way up. Looks like it's, potentially coming back down. Again, since we have low volatility, the premiums, is pretty low. You might have to go out a ways, although again, that increases the risk, tying up your capital for a longer period of time. If you go out to March, it's only 30 cents. Again, those are increasing in value. So that's a little bit attractive. So I hope that helps. Again, please let me know, MD, if you'd like more information. Maybe we can look at the desktop version, or I can do further analysis on that HP at 32. We could add it to our research tab, and I apologize that I hadn't done that before, but we can add HP at 32. We'll leave it at a February expiration, and I'll put it in at 32. And then our automated system will collect that data, and possibly we can go back next weekend and review that again. So I apologize, I missed that earlier. Okay, lastly, I wanted to continue our series briefly on talking about how to trade biotech stocks. So let me grab a quick drink. And again, we'll talk about a little bit more about how to trade biotech stocks. Okay, for a while, we've been talking about how to trade biotech stocks. We've done a series of discussions and a series of videos on how to trade biotech stocks. It's all based on an initial question by Carmen asking about a specific biotech stock. So that started this whole series of discussions of our experience with how to trade biotech stocks. So you can listen to that series via the bonus links in the video. Last week we talked about potential catalysts for biotech stocks, and we got ChatGPT's response to what are all the potential catalysts for biotech stock. You can hear what it identified as potential catalysts for a biotech stock via that bonus link in the notes. This week I asked ChatGPT what are all the risks for trading biotech stocks. So now you can listen to ChatGPT's response to what are all the risks in trading biotech stocks via the bonus link in our notes. And again, we'll eventually be releasing all of these videos on our YouTube channel. Just a note is if you'd like early access to these videos, as soon as we produce them, we provide early access to our Patreon members, and we have a channel also in our Discord. So again, if you'd like to get access to these videos as soon as they're produced, you can join any level of our Patreon, and again, you'll get early access to them. Otherwise, we try to release something about every day on our YouTube channel, and eventually all of those will be produced or released on our YouTube channel. And again, I'll come back and we'll talk in more detail about some of these catalysts, some of the risks. But I thought, might as well let ChatGPT identify all the risks, and then we can add to and discuss the details of both the catalysts and risks and how you can make money trading biotech stocks, quote, safely in more detail in the future. And again, you can see our notes from our previous discussions, and that we've created a new due diligence Google sheet that our all access and VIP Patreons have access to help you identify the quarter's cash flow positive, see, if they're at risk of having an offering, having a split, etc., which you'll see are some of the risks with trading biotech stocks. And again, you can use this for any money-losing company, tech company, etc. So we'd love to hear your feedback about other things we can add to that Google sheet to help you do due diligence on biotech stocks or other stocks, etc. And again, we'd love your feedback on, what can we do to improve our weekly trading game plans, any of our videos, our tools, our Google Sheets, our community, etc. So please let us know in the comments below, in our Discord, via our social media, what can we do to add more value for all of our fellow BeachBum traders. And again, if you have any questions, want us to look at a stock in a future weekly trading game plan, please put it in the comments, etc. Otherwise, we hope that you like this content. We'd appreciate it if you'd please smash the like button. We try to get the YouTube algorithm to give us some love and share our content with other traders around the world. We'd really appreciate it if you directly share our content and our community with your fellow traders directly. And also, join us in our Discord. We can continue these discussions 24/7 in our Discord. Our Discord is free to join, with the exception of the few channels that I pointed out that are exclusive to our Patreon members. All of the other channels are free to join and accessible to all of our Discord members. So we have channels for different asset classes, trading styles, etc. So again, we'd encourage you to join our community, share it with your fellow traders and friends, and let's continue to grow the BeachBum trading community for the mutual benefit of all of our fellow BeachBum traders. So thank you again to everyone that joined us in the chat and to everyone that's watching our video after the fact. And we hope that you have a great trading week, and we hope to see you again back next weekend for our weekly trading game plan videos, Saturday and Sunday, 10 a.m. Eastern time for our weekly trading game plan. Thank you again, and we'll see you. Have a great trading week.